Quise estar donde más se brillaba y allí sola me quedé. A mi mano todo y no bajo mis pies. Yo bajaba solo para dárselo a él.
Organic architecture. I thought this was really intriguing, and I love how much inspiration architecture takes from nature, and like specifically in the ones that they highlighted. I think that there's always kind of been some sort of symmetry with architecture and nature in its different forms too. And the clear inspiration that you could see that the designers had taken from nature and the way that things were cut together, I thought was really, really beautiful. And I think it showed, obviously, humans have changed the earth. We have changed the face of it. We have changed the makeup of it. We've changed every single part of this planet that we possibly could, that we have control over. But I think that by highlighting these designers, these architectures, the architects are trying to reflect back on the earth in their buildings, and with the materials they use and things like that. I think it's kind of just paying respect to the land that we all use in some kind of way, and even if it's in a small way. And I think that that's really beautiful. But like I said, I thought it was really, really gorgeous to see. And I sometimes get stuck in like the normal kind of architecture that I see all the time, which is more for utility and less for beauty or to kind of really stand out. So getting to see some of these things was really, really just wonderful.
Organic architecture. This piece very much plays with the significance of editing, and how it can elicit meaning and significance through its kind of flash cutting between these buildings, and again this piece of meat that is being sliced and masticated, and there are, I feel like, infinite amounts of possible interpretations that one can get from that. Is this a commentary on industrialization, on the impeding on the land of animals? There's so many ways that this can be taken in and interpreted, and the piece gives you the space to make those theories yourself without spoon feeding you too much, but giving you just enough.
Organic architecture. This was interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways you can interpret this. It was really kind of left up to interpretation, but the flashes between the meat and the palm with the lines on it, and then the architecture, it almost made me feel like this person's palm or the meat or whatever, maybe this is really ridiculous, but was kind of inspirational as to the buildings, like where the architecture came from. But I'm sure there's other like hidden meanings here. I'm not a big symbolic person. If you're making a statement, I just want to know what it is. So I wasn't 100% sure what the statement was. Didn't make sense to me, but it could be something to do with, a lot of buildings on the land, and there's not as much, land to use for growing food and things like that, raising cattle. I don't know. That's kind of a jump, but regardless, I thought it was interesting. And the guy with his wardrobe, I wasn't sure what that was a statement on. It seemed really dark in the beginning, and then flashing to the different buildings. The architecture was nice. Again, I'm not a big symbolic person, so I'm not sure what the actual statement was, or if it was just to be left up to interpretation. But it kept me guessing the whole way and kept me intrigued. And obviously the camera work was good, because going back and forth and showing all the different visuals kept me engaged. So good job.
This film was called Organic Architecture. This was a creative short. What set it apart for me was the incredible editing, lots of rapid images in a row. The film captured so many fabulous buildings and structures, both day and night. The scenes of the man cutting up meat were visceral and intense, and the sultry vocals were both melodic and eerie. The keyboard music was also so haunting. The film was able to create a strong contrast between the soft, raw meat from the natural world and the confident modern structures. Great job.